Hey guys, and welcome to another Friday Facts discussion video. Last time we went over the Friday Facts from last week, which is where they discussed optimizations as well as some other stuff. And today we're going over this 166, which covers several different things, and I'm going to try to summarize a bit more. For the most part, it was really well received, the last one, which is great. And I'm really enjoying doing this, and it seems you guys are as well. But people did suggest that maybe I summarize a little bit more instead of like just reading every single thing, so we'll do that. So primarily what this is focused on is the combat, that they're revisiting it rather. And Clonin, who wrote this, so one of the new tasks he's picked up is working on combat balance. And to illustrate it, Twinsen worked on a highly scientific, quote unquote, graph of the current combat system with X and Y axes representing the elapsed time and power respectively. So I'm going to zoom in here just so it's easier for all of us to see. So we have a power on the Y graph axis and time on the X axis, and so we have biters, this red line, and then we have like the different weapons, and so mines kind of just stay the same here, are essentially just kind of worthless after this point. Same with personal laser defense. Pistol is pretty worthless after this point. Machine gun, easy combat. So tanks, do kind of, there is a point where tanks make it really easy and then they kind of just drop off. You can see the gap here. And then the flamethrower, I think this is supposed to be flamethrower. Flamethrower is like way up here. Flamethrower is just always good. It's really good. It has a little bit of a hard time against BMOS, but still pretty good. And laser turret creep is all the way up here as well, which is pretty much always good. And yeah, so there's that little graph they threw together. And then to make it easier for them to test, Clonin threw together a mod that looks actually quite interesting here. It would be quite cool to have access to this, though it does seem quite similar to the creative mode, but it's kind of their own internal thing, if you will. So yeah, to ease the process, he wrote a small internal mod that allows them to quickly set up consistent conditions and see in a reliable, semi-deterministic way what sort of effect even the smallest changes would have. So they can send in biters and stuff. So this will help them collect like solid comparisons for how the combat changes and evolves as the game goes onward. For now, I have a short list of what we are trying to accomplish. So they have a bit of a bullet point thing here of what they want to accomplish from this. The first thing is nerf turret creep, which, I mean, it's understandable. Turret creep is just insanely powerful in pretty much all stages of the game. I mean, it becomes a little more tedious when you get BMOS just because they take a bit longer to kill, but it can still be very effective. And up until that point, it's just straight up OP. And some ways they have discussed doing this previously, actually, which I find pretty interesting, guys, is that they've discussed like adding a warm-up or power-up time or charge to the turrets so that like so that when you place them down, right, it takes like a couple seconds for them to actually be ready to fire. So if you're like walling off your stuff and placing them in a defensive way, this won't really affect you, which is good because it shouldn't in that case. But this would kind of be a way to nerf the turret creep, is to have kind of a charge up time, so you place it and it can't actually fire for a couple seconds. This would actually pretty drastically nerf turret creep. And that's interesting. That's one thing I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this as well down in the comments. Like, what do you think about that change? What are maybe some ways you can think of? Same with any of this. Any comments or your thoughts on any of this would be great. That's kind of what this video is for me to give you an overview and share my thoughts and then hear your thoughts. Generally make the mid-game combat better, which is, I guess, okay. I mean, like I'm not against this at all. I guess my hesitation was that it's not necessarily mid-game combat that has the problem. Early game combat, I mean, you can do actually quite a bit with the submachine gun and piercing ammo up until big biters. And then mid-game, the flamethrower is pretty much just beats all. So maybe that's what they mean here, just make more weapons viable for mid-game. Late game, I think is actually potentially something that needs to be worked on more, because late game really you only have two options. I mean, you only have the flamethrower, which once behemoths spawn, it's still the most effective weapon probably, but not actually that effective because it does take quite a while to kill a behemoth, even with the flamer. So you have pretty much the flamer and destroyer caps is like just the straight up best way to go aside from turret creep and late game. So if they nerf turret creep, that takes care of that part. But I think that looking at late game would definitely be a good thing as well. Bring things more in line with another in terms of damage and utility. So that's kind of what we just went over. Kind of just balance things out. Like actually up here, something I didn't mention where they went into detail here is that like they're saying that issues that many of the guns and ammo in the game are too underwhelming for the price and others are completely useless. One example which clearly stands out is a rocket launcher and the ammo for it, which is true. Those are not very useful. Same with like the personal laser defense. It always has been just completely worthless pretty much, and I hope they fix that because I think it's a cool idea, and I think that should be worked on. I mean, really, it's a cool idea. It should be way better than it is. Same with the discharge defense. Either just get rid of it or make it better. I think that idea is even more cool than the personal laser thing. Like if your discharge defense actually was useful, like and did anything like helpful, I think it's a really cool concept. But as it is now, it's just like completely worthless. I mean, it does like no damage to anything. So that'd be kind of cool. And then the last thing is make the buyers less of an irritant but still a threat. There's not much details there. I don't know what they plan. They do plan to remove artifacts from the game, which pretty much everyone's in favor of. I'm not personally. I think it's a huge missed opportunity for them. They could have done a lot of things with them. Like instead of just getting rid of them, they could have made them like not required like they are now, but made them optional for potential upgrades, like for your factory, like late game. Like you could maybe combine them with something else or turn them into something to like upgrade your machines even more, or give you some other source of power or something. So not make them required, but make it optional so they actually have a use. But whatever. Someone will probably just mod them back in, to be honest, so not that big of a deal. There's that, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts on all this. And so then Steam Award nominations. Steam is doing these awards, which we can take a look at here. There's several different ones. The Test of Time, I'm Not Crying, There's Something in My Eye award, Just 5 More Minutes award, Whoa Dude award, and actually there's a lot. I'm not going to read all of them, but you can nominate your games. A lot of people who was posted on the subreddit nominated Factorio for the Just 5 More Minutes award. I think this is absolutely perfect. I mean, Factorio was like made for this. Even the description. So if you haven't, definitely go and vote for Factorio for this award here. I think it would be amazing if they won, and they really deserve it. I mean, this is just like Factorio in a nutshell, pretty much. So check that out if you haven't. That's pretty cool. And in this, Jesus, speaking of cool, oh my god. Okay, so you guys have seen like the neon cat maybe thing with the combinators and the lights, or the Rickroll thing. If you haven't, just look it up. I mean, it'll be easy to find. Just YouTube like Factorio Rickroll or Factorio Neon Cat. They're light displays people have made like with combinators that display stuff, and those are pretty damn cool. This is like a whole nother league. It's a combinator display by Dave McW. I didn't believe it. Like when it was posted to the subreddit and it like exploded, I didn't believe it at first until the end of the video when he actually zooms in to show where he is. And there's actually there's a forum thread here which you can click. And by the way, I will link this Friday Facts in the description. You can click here and actually download the map where he has this set up and he explains it all. It's totally legit. And they actually had a PC Game article about it. Like that is just blows my, like I can't even, I mean, like here I am, I can't even program a damn timer in Factorio or like set up a circuit network condition for a train, and then we have this. So that's gonna do it, guys. I think this is a great place to end it. It's just amazing what some people do. It really is. But there you go. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this, and I hope you guys enjoy and look forward to future ones of these. I definitely enjoy doing them, and yeah, I think that'll do it, guys. So, as always, take care. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you later.